Alrighty then. Welcome back. It's Michigan Business Talk. I'm sorry. I owe all y'all an apology because it has been a long time since there's been any type of information, any type of podcast. And it's been a crazy COVID season. We've been hustling like crazy over here, trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do next, how we're going to do it, what we're going to do, where we're going to do it, why we're going to do it, all that fun stuff, which I know you guys are too. But we are back. My name is Mike Doctor. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sticking in. I am here with my main man, Broton, and he has another book review for us. Last time, you'll remember we reviewed the book Chop Wood, Carry Water by Josh Metcalf, which was a great book, and I definitely recommend you read it. You still like that one, right? Good stuff. And what one are we reviewing today, my man?
Keys to Success for Kids.
Keys to Success for Kids. And who wrote that one?
Maddix.
Maddix. Before we get into that, how's your summer going?
Good.
Yeah? You're a little closer to the mic for me. Say again?
Good.
There we go. Awesome. So what have you been doing this summer?
We've gone camping and we've done some fires.
We have done some fires. We did one last night, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fun, wasn't it? Sitting out there. Mom built us a great little fire pit area in the back, making our house look like Better Homes and Gardens. You don't get that reference, but that's okay. Awesome. So, for camping, you like camping?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? What do you like most about camping?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, that's okay. What else are you going to do the rest of the summer?
My friends are coming over today and probably more camping.
There will definitely be more camping. That I can promise you. We've been playing a lot of board games too, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? What's your favorite board game?
Catan.
Why is Catan? I'm glad to hear you say that, but why is Catan your favorite board game?
Because it's easy.
Because it's easy. What do you have to do in Catan?
You have to get resources to build settlements and cities, and then if you get 10 points, you win.
Ooh, interesting. So you have to get resources to build things, and once you get to a certain level, you win the game. Is it easy or hard to get resources?
Easy.
Yeah. Do you have to think about it, though? You don't have to think about it? Not at all? Maybe a little bit? Maybe a little bit? Okay, cool. Well, let's talk about the book. So, the book is Keys to Success for Kids. Keys to Success for Kids. Hopefully this inverts. Right now it's showing that it's upside down and backwards. But by Caleb Maddix. And Caleb's a smart dude. He was voted, and it says on the book, one of the top 30 entrepreneurs under 30. And the guy's like 16, 17 years old. I think he started writing books when maybe he was 14, 15. And he's got 5 or 6 of them. And there's another one in here too called... Oh, I don't have it on. Oh yeah, How to Be a Positive Kid, which is another really cool book that bro will get into too. But with this one, Keys to Success for Kids. What do you think Caleb is really trying to communicate in the book? What's the thing that he really wants to get across to kids?
How to set up goals.
How to set up goals? Why do you think it's important to do that? Why do you think he cares so much about setting up goals?
Because if you don't have goals, you don't know what you want to do. You get better at stuff.
Yeah, that's right. You can't get better at stuff. So setting up goals. So do you think it would be easier or harder to achieve or accomplish something that you want if you set a goal for it or if you don't set a goal for it?
Easier.
Easier if you set a goal for it?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. Why do you think it would be easier?
Because you're thinking about it all the time.
Ooh, you're thinking about it all the time. What does that do when you think about it all the time?
You do it without noticing.
Yeah, you do, right? Because when your brain is focused on something, what happens is it's not really magic, but it kind of seems like magic. You ever get a new car? You haven't gotten a new car yet, but you will get a new car one day. When you get a new car, let's say, what's your favorite car right now? If you had to pick one, like if we were going to go to the car shop today, which we're not, but if we were going to go to the car shop today and we were going to buy you a car, what would you get?
A Jeep.
A Jeep. Okay, so let's say you get what color? Black Jeep. Awesome. So let's say you go to the car dealership and you get a black Jeep. And before you got that black Jeep, you never noticed any other black Jeeps on the road before. Not that big of a deal. But the day that you drive off that car lot, on the way home, you're going to see about 15 black Jeeps. And the reason is because your brain is now focused on those things, which is super cool that it works that way. But it works that way in goals too. So what does he say about goals?
So he says a ton of things about how to like start up your goals.
Okay, how to start your goals? What does he say about how to start your goals?
So identify and define what the goal is.
Ooh.
And make it clear.
Make it clear. Okay. We're going to talk about SMART goals in a second. That's actually the first step of SMART goals. So that's cool. So make it clear. Why do you think it's important to make it clear?
So you, like, if you don't understand it, like what your goal is, you can try to make it clear.
Yeah, right. You got to be able to understand it. If you don't have a clear picture of what you want to accomplish, how are you supposed to know how you're supposed to accomplish it, right? You know, if you don't have an idea. Okay, so what's the next thing he talks about in setting them up?
Set a date to accomplish your goal.
Ooh, make it time specific. Awesome. So there's an acronym that we talked about last night. You remember what it was? I said we're going to talk about X goals, and you're like, I don't know what that means. Remember when you were sitting in the hammock reviewing the book? All right, it was SMART goals is what we were talking about. And what do you think the T in SMART stands for?
Time.
Time. There you go, buddy. Exactly. It stands for time specific. And we'll get into SMART goals in a second after he talks about this some more. So time. Is there anything else that he talks about in terms of what's important with setting up your goals?
Visualize yourself accomplishing it.
Ooh, visualize yourself accomplishing it. That's pretty cool. Why does he say that's important?
Because if you visualize it, then you have a better understanding of when you do it or how you do it.
You're right. You're gonna pay attention to it. You're gonna know more when you visualize it, when you understand it. The more clear of a picture you have in your head, and when you see yourself doing it, it makes it more realistic that you can do it, right? That's pretty cool. All right, awesome. So, what are some goals that you have?
To get better at Can Jam and...
Get better at Can Jam. Now, for the people and kids who don't know what Can Jam is, would you like to explain what Can Jam is?
So Can Jam is you have two cans with a hole on the top and a little slot for the frisbee to go through, and your teammate has to try to get it in the top or hit it on the side, and you get points, and once you get 21 you win, or if you get it in the slot in the front you win. Automatically
win. You almost did that last time you played too, didn't you? I remember it. It was pretty cool. So that's a cool game that we play when we're camping. Broton has become nearly a professional expert at bags, so he will dominate you if you allow him to in bags and cornhole. He's real good at that. Everybody wants, like, me and his uncles worry when we have to play against him. He's just as good as we are. So he wants to get better at Can Jam so he can beat us at that too. He's a little vicious when it comes to card games and board games. He seems to like to beat up on me for some reason. Then I started trading with him, and he started to like me again, which was good. It was a good thing. It was a good back and forth. So that's a fun goal. That's cool. So what do you think? What do you think we have to do in order to get better at Can Jam?
You have to practice throwing.
Ooh, we got to practice the techniques of the game, right? That's how you get better at doing anything, is you do it over and over and over again with repetition. Cool. So what would be another goal that you would have?
Do a lemonade stand in the summer and make $10 at least.
A lemonade stand in the summer and make $10. Good stuff. Earning some money. What are you gonna do with that money?
Save up for a car or a new phone.
Save up for a car or a new phone. That's good stuff. Maybe a black Jeep. Maybe. That's neat. Very cool. So if you want a new phone or a car or something like that, and you set a goal to get that, what are some of the things that you have to do outside of just saying, hey, I want this? What are some of the action steps?
You have to do stuff to get it. Like, you have to put up the lemonade stand, get the stuff for it, make sure you make money.
Yeah, you gotta think about it and take action, right? You're exactly right. That's 100% correct. And when you start to take action, you start to act on that stuff, do different things happen than if you just sit around and talk about it? Yeah, I agree with you. 100%. So what do you think? So that's the main thing for the book. Awesome. First of all, those are two great goals. I think those are really cool. Secondly, what is there like a secondary theme of the book that you felt outside of just goal setting?
How to earn money.
How to earn money as a kid, or just in general?
Just in general.
Just in general, that's probably a pretty smart thing to learn. So, what are some of the things that he talked about in terms of earning money? What were some of the stuff that he did, and what are some of the stuff that you think you can do?
You can make a lemonade stand, sell your talent, sell things door to door, write a book, or start a business.
You could absolutely do all those things. Does it seem like it's really hard to do those things? Does it? Yeah. Why does it seem like it's hard? You're not wrong. I'm just curious why you think it seems hard.
Because if you want to bake, it will take a long time, and you also have to get all the items. But once you do it, you're gonna make some money.
Yeah. So again, it goes back to, and it's one of the things we've always talked about on this podcast, is taking action, right? Actually going out and doing something, engaging. It doesn't really matter what. It's just important that you do it if it's going to get you towards your goal, if it's a step that's going to get you to where you want to go. So running a business is hard, right? Because we talked about it last night. You were going to do some stuff for the lemonade stand. You and your sister were going to make some different crafts that you could do. And Broton started thinking, well, if I buy a bulk bag,
can I go get it?
Not right now, but if I buy, you're talking about, yeah, grab your big one. So when we were on a cruise, he made this really massive necklace. It's like the biggest necklace ever. You can see it. He was like and if you're just listening to this, it's a massive circle, dude. If you're just listening to this, you're going to want to go to YouTube, to my YouTube channel, so you can see this really, really huge rubber band necklace. He was the star of the cruise ship with this necklace. He could, all of a sudden, people would just have it just drop down on them as they're walking up the stairs. It was pretty fun. Everybody knew who he was. But he can make these things like crazy. And he was talking about, okay, well, if I'm going to sell these things, the bracelets, necklaces, whatever else it is, and I got to get a bulk bag of rubber bands, how much is that going to cost? How long is it going to take me to make each one of these? What do I need to sell it for in order to make money? And is that going to be worth my time? Those were all the things we talked about last night. And that's all the stuff when you run a business, when you start a business, that you gotta think about. Now, when you're younger, you have a lot less to do in terms of responsibilities. Let me ask you this, Broden. Do you think that I have more to worry about than you have to worry about? Yeah, absolutely. So do I have more time or less time now?
Less.
I have less, right? So when you're younger and you have less to worry about, you have more time to actually do things and engage in these things. Do you think it would be easier or harder to be successful if you started early? Easier. Exactly. Why do you think it would be easier?
Because you have more time to start up your business.
You have more time? Yeah. And is it okay to screw up once in a while? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we learned that in Chop Wood, Carry Water, didn't we? It's okay to fail. You can fail. You just got to keep moving forward. And guess what? If you start a business, you're going to screw up. Maybe you're going to make a bracelet wrong and break it. Maybe you're going to spill lemonade on somebody when they try to buy it from you. Maybe you're going to say the wrong thing. Oh my goodness, am I guilty of that? Maybe you're going to go door to door and you catch somebody at the wrong time, and as they open the door, their cat runs out and they get really, really mad at you. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in business, right? A lot of things. But that's why it's important to have your goals clear. Because when the goals are clear and your goals are big enough and your dreams are big enough, the facts don't really matter, do they? Because if you really want to accomplish something, you're going to do it no matter what, aren't you? I know you are. So let's talk about SMART goals. And it lines up with the things that Caleb was saying. And I just talked about this on the Davenport University Institute for Professional Excellence class that we just did, the management certification that we just did online, the virtual one. And it's the acronym SMART, and it stands for SMART goals. And here's what it stands for. First of all, the S stands for specific. That sounds pretty clear, like what he was saying, right? The second thing stands for measurable. That's a better way to say that. Measurable. So why would you want to measure your goals, do you think?
Like measure your time or measure your time or something?
Yeah, you got to know if the things that you're doing are getting you closer to achieving your goal or farther away, right? So you have to have some sort of, you know what a metric is? Yeah, you have to have some sort of metric in order to be able to gauge it, right? So like, so if I'm shooting free throws and I shoot 10 free throws and I want to get better at free throws and I know that right now I can make 5 out of 10 free throws. I need to track every time that I shoot free throws to see if I'm getting better or worse, and then I need to look at it and see, okay, is my form bad? What's going on? Why am I missing more than what I'm making? So if you have a goal to say get better at can jam, and instead of getting better, you're getting worse, how would you know if you didn't have any way to measure it, right? So measurable, you want to be measurable. So specific, measurable. A, attainable. Is it good to set a goal that you can achieve? Why do you think?
Because then there's no point of trying.
Oh, well, yeah, if you can't achieve it, it doesn't make any sense, right? But if you can achieve it, do you feel better or worse about yourself?
Better.
Yeah, you do. You feel much better. Why do you think you feel better?
Because you actually can achieve it and accomplish it.
Yeah, and you feel good about yourself because you're productive and you did something that you said you were going to do, and it helps your brain waves, it helps your brain space. It's a good thing. So, attainable. The second to the last thing in SMART is the R. What do you think the R stands for? Yeah, you would never know because I've never told you before. So there's no way that you would know. It stands for realistic. Realistic, right? You want a real goal and it's similar to attainable, but it stands for realistic. You want to make sure that your goal is realistic. If you have a goal to reach the NFL, play football in the NFL, and you want to play for the Detroit Lions, which I don't know why you would, right? But if you want to play for the Detroit Lions and you have a goal to do that, that is an attainable goal for a lot of people, right? It's specific. You can measure your work and see if you're getting better or worse, and it's attainable for a lot of people. But if you're 5'3" and 150 pounds and you want to be an offensive lineman for the Detroit Lions, that's not a realistic goal. I hate to break it to you, but do you think you could play for the Detroit Lions right now? Yeah, I don't think so either. That's not a realistic goal, is it? But you could probably write a book if you wanted to, right? Yeah, you could. You're a smart kid. You write all the time. You read all the time. You're good with words. And so I think that's does that make sense with realistic, right? So the last one is time bounds, right? Time bound. Have you ever known friends or kids who say, "Oh, I'm going to do this," and then they never do it? You've seen that before? As you get older, you will see that more and more. And the reason for that is people never set a time frame to accomplish what they want to accomplish. And when you don't set a time frame to it, guess what? It's not real. It's not even really specific. It's not even really measurable because you don't have any time, and it's definitely not realistic. So it's probably not a good goal, and it's probably not a good way to structure it, right? So that is a good way to look at it. So if you are going to set a goal, so you want to do a lemonade stand, that's great, right? So that's a specific goal, right? You're going to you wanted to make at least $10, right? So you can measure that, which is good. It's attainable. Anybody can really start up a lemonade stand and make money. It's realistic. When do you want to do it by?
End of the summer.
End of the summer. There you go. That hits all the criteria. Good job. Slap hands. I like it. Very, very good. So, SMART goals. Awesome. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Cool. So what's the other cool part about doing these podcasts for you? You get money. That's right. Get closer for me. So you get money. So how much do you get each time that you read a book and do a podcast? $20, which we have right here. $20 from my man Broton. Let's keep his momentum up. Let's keep his motivation up. Like and share this video. Like and share this podcast. See the other book review that he did on Chop Wood, Carry Water. Now, outside, and first of all, thank you also to Caleb Maddix for writing books like this, being such a great inspiration to kids, to teens, and really showing them how to spend their time the right way. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for doing that. Absolutely legit. If you haven't read the book and you're a kid listening to or watching this, I'd strongly recommend it. If you're a parent listening to or watching this, and you have an idea for what you want your kids to learn, and it fits into stuff like this, these are great. They're easy books to read, aren't they? Yeah, it didn't take you that long. It took you like, what, a day and a half? When you really sat down and did it? I mean, it took longer than that because you were reading about 3 books at once, weren't you? Yeah, you were. So he likes to read. So he was reading this one. And he reads fun books. He reads developmental books. Which one of these are you going to read next? So we have, How to Be a Positive Kid, the other one by Caleb. And then we also have a couple others that he's going to get into. Grit for Kids. And Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Lose. Oh. grab that one. That shows some interest. I like it. Cool. Well, hey, we are Michigan Business Talk. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your patience and taking time to stick with us in the midst of it. What's up, buddy? Oh, we have a husky who is wanting to get inside. Oh, paws are dirty. All right, we got to go handle that. Thank you so much, guys. My name's Mike. This is Broton. He's going to be continuing doing book reviews so he can continue to earn money and continue to achieve his goals. And we'll be back with you. I still owe you a podcast on technology for the Michigan Business Talk Business Survival Series. I have not forgotten. It is part 4. I've changed it about 17 times, so that's why I haven't recorded it yet. But it is coming someday. I have a goal to be more consistent with this. It is not a SMART goal because I have not been specific on it. I have not been time-bound. I have not measured it. And so we will see how we do. But in the midst of it, we are going to continue bringing you great content. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking. Very much appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Bye now.
I'm going to see where they were digging.